In section 4.1, we talked about functions versus relation. We know that we can use the vertical line test to tell if something is a function. We talked about the domain, or the x values, and the range, or the y values. In section 4.2, we're going to talk about notation. How do we write functions? Most students get confused about this, but it's a very simple concept. It's just a different way to write y. When you write an equation, you write y equals 3x plus 5. Well, instead of writing y, we're going to write f of x, or g of x, or whatever the function happens to be. So just think about two different ways to write the same thing or say the same thing. Function notation is just a different way of writing something. So you'll need to open your books to page 127. Halfway down the page, you'll see this heading, 4.2, Function Notation. So in your book, it explains that. What I'm concerned about is right here. 6 different ways to write the exact same thing. So what you're used to seeing is y equals 2x plus 3. Equation of a line. Instead of writing y, we can write it in set notation. Remember the braces? Okay. Generally, you won't see this very often. This is the most common way you're going to see it, number 2 or number 3, which you've already seen. See how that's f parentheses x and parentheses? So we can write that, and we say f of x. Okay? So the way that you say that is f of x. It means the exact same thing as y. Nothing else. Those are the exact same equation. A lot of times people start to get caught up. They think they're supposed to do something with this. They think there's some type of mathematical that they're supposed to perform something mathematical. All it means is y. F of x and y are the same exact thing. Here's another way. F, the function f, where x maps to 2x plus 3. Here's another one where x, and the little f is the function. Again, you probably won't really see 1, 4, 5, or 6 that often. But just realize there's lots of different ways to say the same thing. You already know number 3. That's the way you've always done it. What you want to focus on now is remembering that when you see it written the way number 2 is, that that's not something odd for you. Next page. Okay, so what I just said was y and f of x are both symbols for the second element of an ordered pair. Of course, that means y. Of the function whose first element is x. Okay, so f of x, which I just said on the previous page, equals 2x plus 3 is the most common form of function notation. So if I say to you, when x is 5, what is y? I can write that out, but the easiest way to say it is to say f of 5. So that means the same thing as when x is 5, what is y? It's a f of 5, that means all of that. So, again, using that same example, 2x plus 3, we're going to evaluate f of negative 4. So again, f of negative 4 means what is, when x is negative 4, what is y? So what do? We plug in negative 4 for x. So f of negative 4, 2, now we're plugging in negative 4 of x, so 2x, and now we're plugging in negative 4, plus 3. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. So f of negative 4 equals negative 5. Or in other words, when x is negative 4, y is negative 5. We can do the same thing, but we don't necessarily have to have just a number in here. Okay? Same idea. When x is a plus 1, what is y? So we're going to plug a plus 1, plug that in for x. Okay. So 2x plus 3. So now we're going to have 2. No longer we're going to have x. We're going to plug in whatever it says to plug in. A plus 1 plus 3. So 2x makes the substitution plus 3. Now we can distribute 2a plus 2 plus 3 and simplify 2a plus 5. Third example, same idea. We're going to substitute 2x in for x. So even though we already have an x in it, we can still substitute something else. So again, plug in 2x for x. So we had 2x plus 3, so 2. Now we're going to substitute in 2x plus 3. Simplify, 2 times 2, 4, 4x plus 3, and you're done. Last one, f of x squared. So again, substitute in, plug that in for x. So 2, instead of x, we're going to plug in x squared plus 3. Of course, we just don't need the parentheses. 2x squared plus 3. So for each of these, we're saying when x is negative 4, when x is a plus 1, when x is 2x, when x is x squared, what is y, or simplify it. Sometimes we don't have an exact value. So plug in x squared and simplify it. Plug in 2x for x and simplify it. Plug in a plus 1 for x and simplify it. Plug in negative 4, simplify it, and you get negative 5. So don't get confused. Remember, f of x or f of negative 4 is saying what is the y value when given that x value. If I have just a plain old f of x, right, this just means y. This is the same thing as y. Next page. In class, we're going to practice this page, and we also have a worksheet that we're going to practice in class.